Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video we completed with the revision of first chapter, and I also told you guys to go through all the terminologies of accounting, which is very important because without understanding or without having knowledge of that terminology, you will be not able to do the accounting. Therefore, please go through that 46 terminologies of accounting given in the chapter number 1. So now let's start with the revision of chapter 2, that is dual effects of transactions and types of accounts. So you guys learn in the chapter 2 about the business transactions, how to classify, identify the business transactions, dual effect of transactions, types of accounts, the rules of debit and credit, and the steps of debiting, crediting of accounts. So now let's start with the revision. So in that the first point was about the meaning of business transaction. So in short, business transaction means the exchange of products or services of business for cash and or on credit between two or more than two persons is known as business transactions. Business transactions is always done with the motive of earning profit or earning money. So business transaction is an exchange of product or services of business for cash or on the credit between two or more persons, then that is known as business transaction. Then next is classification of business transactions. So here the tabular form, like in a chart, is given business transaction, classification of business transaction. So first is economic transaction. Business transaction can be divided into two types of transaction, that is economic transaction and non-economic transactions. Whereas economic transaction is those transaction which is done with the motive of profit, that is known as economic transaction, and non-economic transactions are those transactions which are done for the purpose of social, like which is done for the social purpose. With these non-economic transactions are not done with the motive of earning money or earning profit, that is known as non-economic transactions. So economic transactions again can be divided into two parts, that is cash or credit transaction and internal or external transactions. Cash and credit transactions again can be of three types, that is cash transactions, credit transactions and other transactions. And under the internal or external transactions, that there is internal transaction and external transactions. So cash transaction, that means these transactions are done with the money, with the help of money. So in this type of transaction, money is paid or received for the exchange of assets, goods or services, that is known as cash transactions. Credit transactions, there can be three types of transaction. Cash transaction, transactions for the asset. So in this, asset is purchased by the payment of money or money is realized by the sale of the assets, that is known as cash transactions for assets. For example, furniture worth of rupees 10,000 is purchased from business and a scooter is sold for rupees 40,000. In this case, asset is sold and cash is received. Then next type is cash transaction for goods. So in this case, goods is purchased in exchange of money or money is realized from the sale of goods. And the third type of cash transaction is cash transaction for services. So in this case, cash is paid for the acquired services or cash is received for the provided services. So these are the types of cash transactions. The next type is credit transactions. Credit transaction means money is not paid immediately for the purchase or sale of transactions of assets, goods and services. So money for those purchase and sale is to be paid in the future. Therefore, however, exchange of assets, goods and services is made in present. So accounts are also settled in the future. So from these transactions, the relation of debtor creditor comes into existence, because In brief, purchase and sale of assets, goods and services are made in the present, but their money is payable or receivable in future. That is known as credit transactions. Then the third is other transactions. So other transactions that do not fall in the above mentioned two types, that is on credit, cash transaction and credit transaction, and that is known as other transactions. And other transactions are a very special transactions. These transactions are neither cash nor credit transactions. For example, goods destroyed in accident, theft of goods, goods given for donations, goods given for advertisement, assets turned defective or useless, etc. are all the other transactions, or we can say these are all the special transactions. The next type is internal or external transaction. Internal transaction means transactions which would take place within the business, that is known as internal transactions. For example, depreciation on assets, loss due to natural calamity, etc. all are the internal transactions. And these are all the economic transactions, but they are non-cash transactions. The next is external transactions. External transactions means the transactions which are taken between the business and the other parties. These are known as economic transactions of the business, and these transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. For example, sale of goods to customers, payment of wages to workers, interest received from the bank, amount paid for the insurance premium, purchase of machinery, cash deposited in bank, etc. are all the examples of external transactions. Then non-economic transaction. Non-economic transactions are those transactions whose value cannot be measured in terms of money, that is known as non-economic transactions. So now let's see one example of describe whether the following transactions are economic or non-economic transactions. I have already discussed this question, but I am going to discuss the first three transactions, whether they are economic or non-economic. So this is example. In this example, you have to classify whether each transaction is economic transaction or non-economic transaction. So first transaction is assets purchased for 10,000, for rupees 10,000. So asset is purchased and against that the 10,000 is paid. So here money is involved, therefore this is an economic transaction. Then assets purchased from Radha for 12,000 on credit. So here this transaction is also measurable in money, although money is going to be paid in the future, but still this is measurable in money, therefore this is also an economic transaction, and the relation of debtor and creditor is created. Then third is asset sold for rupees 20,000. So asset is sold and against that the money is received. So this is also an economic transaction because this transaction is measurable in terms of money, therefore this is also an economic transaction. Fourth is assets sold to Mira on credit for rupees 22,000. Here this transaction is also measurable in money terms, therefore this is also an economic transaction. Now let's see one example of non-economic. So here 11th transaction is given that to enhance sales for discussion a meeting is arranged with salesman. So this transaction is non-economic because it is neither cash transaction nor establishes the relation between the debtor and creditor. So this transaction is not measurable in terms of money, therefore this is non-economic transaction. 11th and 10th one, a planning is made to buy one asset. This is also a kind of non-economic transaction because here neither cash is involved nor credit, or nor establishes the relation of debtor and credit, therefore this is also a non-economic transaction. So this is how you can identify whether the transactions made are economic or non-economic, whether if the transaction is measurable in terms of money, then the transaction would be economic, and if the transaction is not measurable in terms of money, that transaction would be non-economic transactions. Now let's see the another example, but in this example you have to identify whether the transaction made is in cash form or is in the credit form. So I'm going to discuss the first 4 transactions only. So first one is goods sold in cash for rupees 500. So in a transaction cash is given, correct? Therefore it is a cash transaction. Then second, goods purchased for rupees 800. So here you can see that credit word is also not given and cash word is also not given. But in a transaction, if anyone like cash is not given or in credit also not given, then you have to assume that this transaction is made for cash transaction, for the cash transaction. So and if does anything is not given, only like this type of transaction is given, that goods purchased for rupees 800. So in this case you have to assume that always in every like transaction that there would be this transaction is made for cash. Then third is goods for rupees 900 is sold to Meena. So Meena is a third person, therefore the relation of debtor and creditor is created. Therefore this transaction is a credit transaction. So this is the remaining, you can solve it by yourself, that whether it is a like a cash transaction or whether it is a credit transaction. So remember that if nothing is given, whether it is made on the cash or whether it is made on the credit, then you have to assume that it is always made on the cash transaction. Now let's the next topic that you learned was about the voucher. You all know that voucher is the first step. It is like valid written document of business transaction, that the business has like performed the transaction. The voucher shows the proof that business has made a transaction. So voucher is a written document of business transactions. So there are types of vouchers: sales bills, purchase bills, credit note, debit note, counterfoil of check, pay-in slip, receipt issued, received, expense bills. Then there are components of vouchers, like vouchers includes name and address of the voucher issuer, name and address of the voucher receiver, date, serial number, amount in figures, signature of bill preparer, signature of bill receivable, types of voucher and other details. Now let's move to the next topic, that is dual effect of transaction. So you all know that under the double entry system, as per its name itself, two entries are done for each transaction. On the name, on like dual effect of transaction, name itself says that there would be two effects of each transaction. So for every transaction, two entries are made, that is dual effect of transaction. So by understanding the types of accounts, like if you know the meaning of, there are 3 types of accounts, correct? That is personal accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. So if you know the rules of these 3 accounts and know the meaning, then you will be easily able to identify which 2 accounts are affected for each transaction. So now let's just discuss the meaning of each account. So first, personal account. First one is personal account. So personal account is when the transactions are made on credit, the counterparty is person. This person may be natural person or legal artificial person. So due to credit transaction, debtor or creditor relation comes into existence between business and the other persons. That is known as personal account. So in personal accounts, the transactions are made on the credit, whether this person would be like a natural person or legal artificial person. So due to this, in personal account, the relation of debtor and creditor is created. So for example, Hetal's account, Dharmendra's account, Raman's account, etc. are the natural person. Live person are included in natural person. For example, Hetal's account, Dharmendra's account, Raman's account and etc. And in the legal artificial person, such as Bank of Baroda's account, Jeevan Jyot High School account, product, medical stores account, these are the legal artificial person. So whenever the relation of debtor and creditor is given, that is known as personal account. Then in real accounts means real accounts, here two types of accounts arises in real account, that is goods accounts and assets accounts. So transactions related with the goods and assets falls in the category of real accounts. Then third is nominal accounts. So in nominal accounts, like you all know that business performs their operation throughout the year. So the accounts are accounts of income and expenditure. All the income and expenses of the business and the profit and loss of the business is ascertained on the basis of nominal accounts. All the income and expenses of the business falls in the nominal accounts. So there are three types of accounts: personal accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. So now we are going to stop here. In the next video we would be continuing discuss with an example how to identify which two accounts are affecting in each transaction. So we would be discussing that in next video, and if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.